to protect, restore, and sustain the ecosystems in the watersheds, the root and pike watersheds in this area. So I just want to thank the the County Board of Supervisors for this opportunity to speak to you tonight and for considering the adoption of this plan. Watershed planning really became a priority for our organization in 2010. Just last month we completed the Root River Watershed Restoration Plan. The Root River Watershed is a much larger watershed than the Pike River Watershed Restoration Plan, but no less or more important. Right now we're also doing watershed planning for the Wind Point Watershed Plan, which is north of here. But most importantly, of course, we've been working in the Pike River Watershed. There we go. Okay, so causes of impairment in this watershed are vast, and the Pike River has been on lists of impaired waters. As we all know, we are very fortunate to live here where we have a multitude of freshwater resources, so it's even more important that we protect those. So the causes of impairment are vast, but one cause really stands out, especially since the Clean Water Act, and that is stormwater runoff pollution. Pre-settlement, 35% of stormwater soaked into the ground. So ever since European settlement happened and all the forests and prairies were removed and replaced by parking lots and other impervious surfaces and tilled agricultural lands, only 44% of the water soaks into the ground, and the rest of that original 35% runs off. And as it runs off, it picks up pollutants, things like dog waste and oil from cars and parking lots and fertilizers and pesticides from agricultural lands. It also surges through our storm sewers and out of the outfalls, and it causes a lot of stream bank erosion, and the pollutant levels are just impairing our waters. There we go. So the Pike River watershed is, there's the red outline there. That's where the Pike River watershed. Okay, so the Pike River has three main branches. There's the north branch, which goes up into Racine County, the south branch, which goes down into Kenosha County, and then the main branch, which is where the two connect and they go directly into Lake Michigan. There are also 9 named tributaries to the Pike River. So this gives you an idea of the entire watershed and what it's comprised of. These are all of our tributaries pointing out. We have good baseline data, which will be able to predict whether the projects are working in the future. We can compare the future data to the past data. that the watershed characterization was comprehensive and up to date, the overall context of what's going on in the watershed and the plan was excellent, description of the new proposed approaches were appropriate and well done, and the plan was well referenced. And we're being told that the Pike River Watershed Restoration Plan is being used as a model watershed plan in EPA's Region 5. So we're very proud of that. The next two slides are simply listing these 9 elements of a watershed plan that the EPA looks for when it's doing this determination. I won't read them to you. I actually provided you with a document that lists them all and actually explains what each one means and what they're looking for in these plans. Okay, so this is the watershed today, or scientists, restoration specialists, and more. Dan Treelor, the Kenosha County Conservationist, was involved in that process. He attended at least 12 meetings over 2 years. John Rudy from Kenosha County Parks, he served on the advisory committee for the planning process, and he also attended many of those meetings. Overall, we had more than 150 people attend at least one meeting throughout those 2 years and provide their input. So we really feel that this is a work of the community, and it's also a work of science. Before the plan was finalized, we involved municipalities even more when the critical projects were sent to each municipality for their input in the review. This plan can and will make a difference in the quality of our fresh water for the next generation. Success stories can already be seen. For example, the village of Mount Pleasant, of course that's in Racine County, but it's a great example. They've completed huge portions of its Pike River restoration project. That's resulted in lower concentrations of pollutants. Really exciting is that it's resulted in the removal of over 100 homes from the floodplain, and that doesn't mean the homes were moved, it means the floodplain has shrunk because of the restoration project, so those homes are no longer in danger, and they no longer have to pay flood insurance. And also it has produced lots of new recreational opportunities for the residents, including walking, biking, bird watching, fishing, and the list goes on. The village is planning to complete the restoration all the way south to the county line. And I really encourage you to visit the Pike River Pathway off of Spring Street in Mount Pleasant if you get the chance, and if you have not seen it. It's beautiful out there. So back. So taking care of the land means taking care of the water. And I thank you for your time. If there are questions, I can take some questions.
Thank you for that presentation. We'll move on to new business. County Clerk.
49, resolution from Planning Development Extension Education Committee regarding proposed adoption of the Pike River Watershed-Based Plan as a guide for regional and community water quality management within the Pike River watershed. Noble, yes. Decker, excused. Skalitsky, yes. Goebel, yes. Retzloff, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move Resolution 49.
Resolution 49 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Gable. Supervisor Noble.
As you heard during the presentation by Allison Thielen, this is we haven't had a study for 30 years, and this one will probably guide us for the next 30 years. So I urge your unanimous adoption.
Thank you, Supervisor Noble. This simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. County Clerk.
Summons and complaint, 19, Angelina Montemero, MD, deprivation of rights.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Claims, 20, Progressive Northern Insurance and Bruce Miller, motorcycle damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Approval of the minutes from the August 19th, 2014 meeting by Supervisor Retzloff.
Supervisor Retzloff.
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Retzloff, seconded by Supervisor Blau. All those in favor? Aye. We get a motion to adjourn? So moved. Been moved by Supervisor Dodge, seconded by Supervisor Gable. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Have a good evening.